What it is, YouTube? What's up? If y'all don't know who I am, my name's Jermaine. I'm on here to review TV shows, movies. I'm basically a reviewer or a movie vlogger. You know, viewer sounds kind of serious, so let's just say I'm a movie vlogger. If that makes sense. I'm not a critic. I'm definitely not a critic. So these are just my opinion, my views, and this is a hobby. So yeah. Let me start off by saying happy holidays to everyone. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to y'all.
I originally tried to record this video on Christmas, but I procrastinated. Procrastination kills. Waited, and then I recorded. And while I was recording, I waited till it was dark outside. So y'all know, natural lighting is best. I thought it would be best to re-record it now, since you know the lighting is better. Look at me now, ta-da-da. Look at me now. 2014 is coming to a close. 2014 was not a good year for horror movies. With 2014 coming to a close, I thought it would be a good idea to make a list of my top six. I know y'all thinking 6 is a weird number. Usually it's 5 or 10. Coming up with my top 6 anticipated horror movies of 2015. Coming up with this list was really hard. It was like picking the needle. But what's the saying? Picking the needle through a haystack. Yeah. Because 2015 doesn't look like a good year for horror movies at all. We're gonna just jump right into it. Number 6. Cue the number 6 slide. Sixth place for my top anticipated horror movie of 2015 is Friday the 13th, the remake. I think it's a reboot. Supposedly, allegedly, this is going to be a found footage movie. The only reason why this is on my list because I'm a fan of the Friday the 13th films. I think they are really fun slasher films, and I'm really a fan of slasher films. I'm ready to see my man Jason come back, slice and dice some people up. Supposedly this movie is going to be released through Paramount, and Paramount released the original films. We're going to do a sequel to the original reboot, but I know it kept getting pushed back, pinned back, and now all of a sudden we got a reboot coming out. I love to give movies the benefit of the doubt before they come out. A lot of the times I'm proven wrong, but I'm gonna get this movie. No, I'm not even going. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it because it's a Friday the 13th film, and I would like to see Jason come back. But the found footage horror aspect, nah. For right now, we don't got no cast, no crew attached to this film, so there's nothing much to go off of. Number five. Cue the number 5 slot. Hey. 5. We got the Poltergeist reboot.
They're here.
This is kind of embarrassing to say, but I always catch bits and pieces of the film. I never watched the entire film, which is bad for a horror fan. I really need to get on that. Good news is we got Sam Raimi directing. He directed the original Evil Dead, and he also, I believe, directed or has something to do with the remake as well. A lot of people throw dirt on the remake of Evil Dead, but I was a fan of it. So hopefully that Sam Raimi is on board, we can come out with a decent movie. I looked through the cast, and I thought somebody was going to play Heather Burke, but the film was going to be more in tune with the original. Looking forward to it because Poltergeist, even though I did see bits and pieces of it, it does seem like a promising horror movie. They kept pushing this film back as well, so usually when films get pushed back, they're not good. So hopefully this could be something. Number 4 on my list is Sinister 2. Now, the first Sinister movie, I liked the home movie aspect. The movie first come on, you see the family getting hanged on top of the trees. I thought that was really creepy, and it looked really realistic. I think the first film had potential, and I know it was one of Blumhouse's first major, one of their top ranking horror movies. The movie just, I don't know, I think the movie kind of fell flat for me. You know, once we got more into the kids and the demon, I thought the demon or monster, whatever he was just one big gimmick. Supposedly Sinister 2 was by the mother and her children, her 2 twin boys. Twins thing, I think that's going to be an interesting aspect. You know, The Shining, maybe. The cop, you know, the weird cop in the first movie is supposed to be returned. The director of this film is Claron Foy. This is going to be his first horror project, what it looks like. So if Sinister 2 brings back that home video aspect, and this movie has hope for me. Number 3, number what? Number 3, got The Woman in Black 2. Now, I liked it, the first Woman in Black movie with Daniel Radcliffe, with Harry Potter. I thought the film was great. You know, it was very dark. It had that gothic feel. It relied a lot on tension. And a lot of the times you thought something was going to happen. And what? Nothing happened. Didn't have no jump scares. It was just one guy in the house. You got Woman in Black 2. This movie kind of bounced back and forth on my list because the trailer, when I first seen the trailer, I liked it. But then I rewatched it and I relied a lot on jump scares. Maybe like the first 2 scares in the trailer were jump scares. Tom Harper is the director of his film. Not familiar with his work. I believe this is also going to be his first horror project, so let's see what he brings to the table. If this movie stays true to the first film, it will have potential. Now let's get into more original content. Number two, what? Number two on my list is It Follows, directed by David Robert Mitchell. When I first seen the trailer for this movie, I'm like, okay, this movie has potential to be a good horror film. The trailer had a really good soundtrack. It gave me a cool retro 80s vibe, you know, from the text, from the credits of the film, and you know, the characters. We haven't seen a horror movie like this, and that gave this type of vibe in a long time. So the movie is basically about The movie is basically about a girl. I guess she gets kidnapped and sexually assaulted, and she gets returned, you know, to her home. She's brought something back. When you see the figure or the killer, whatever it is, when he's coming towards the characters, their faces are really blurred and you can't really see. And I thought that was a very disturbing image. I'm a fan of disturbing imagery.
So if you don't know, now you know.
This movie has already been released at film festivals. The movie has a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. So that's a pretty decent average score. Looking forward to It Follows. And number one on my list is 31 by Rob Zombie, directed by Rob Zombie. If you don't know what 31 is, it's about a group of people. They get kidnapped on the days leading up to Halloween, and they get placed in this place called Murder World, and they have to survive 12 hours against a group of evil clowns. Rob Zombie, when he can do horror right. You know, we all nobody liked it, his Halloween remakes. You know, they were kind of terrible, but he has his own style. You know, that rock hardcore vibe. Like I said, I'm a fan of disturbing imagery, and his last horror movie, Lords of Salem, definitely had disturbing imagery, but I didn't really like the film that much. Very slow. Like, I can watch a slow burn film. The movie just ain't connect with me that well. But he also did horror movies that I really like, you know, House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. I recommend those movies. Everybody see, I need to actually get those movies on Blu-ray. I need to bring some of that House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects to that same good energy into 31. A while ago on Shock 2 Drop, I seen the sketches and drawings of the clowns and monsters in this movie, and bruh, they look cool from these. They look good from these images, from these sketches. So I hope that they look the same, because if this translates to film, well, the clowns on these films are going to be scary, man. I've seen that this movie's still in pre-production. Let's do this right, man. So those are my 6 top anticipated horror movies of 2015. Last horror movie I was honestly really like, I see this, I gotta go, I gotta watch this as soon as it comes out in theaters, was Evil Dead. I don't have that same feeling for any of these movies. I'm sure I want to see them all, but I don't have that drive. Like, yeah, like, let's hope that these movies are good, man. Let's really hope. Especially the last 2. Aside from horror movies, I'm also looking forward to seeing Jurassic World. That's it for me today, y'all. Make sure y'all like this video, subscribe, and whatever movies you're looking forward to seeing, just leave them down below. And make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. I'll see y'all next time. What the f was that?